A lot of freaking out Freddies are roaming around news wires and Twitter telling us that Walker's calf injury is a big concern. Well, I got news for you, Bob. Kenneth Walker's been removed from the Week 8 injury report and will play and will start week number 8. Let's ride the Fantasy Football Show. Emergency Kenneth Walker live stream begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
But Smitty, should we trade Kenneth Walker? This calf's concerning to me, Smitty. Smitty, who should I play? Charbonnet or so-and-so this week? Everybody getting ahead of themselves. Just getting way ahead of themselves on this Kenneth Walker situation. Let's go. Kenny Walker, week 8, off the injury report. Zach Charbonnet, removed from the injury report. The Seattle Seahawks are going to try and do against the Browns what other teams can't do, which is run the damn ball.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's not an easy task. It's not a great matchup, but Kenny Walker is ready to ball. Okay, so great news for everybody that has been freaking out about this situation. There are a lot of other pieces of news we're going to break down on the 8 p.m. show. I'm going to save all that for that show coming up semi-soon, so get ready for that. But K. Walker, let's go. Sitting K9 is a very beta thing to do, says Space Ricky. Even like questioning this man who's been on a tear, doing amazing things, being an absolute monster, being one of the best scoring running backs in the National Football League, doing so much. Imagine if he gets even more work too. Kenneth Walker is a touchdown machine. And what I love so much about Kenny Walker right now is that the team leans upon him when they're anywhere inside the 10-yard line. You know that feeling you get when you watch your opponent have a player where, they're anywhere near the goal line and they're like, damn it, they're just going to run the ball. They're just going to give this running back the touchdown. They're going to hand it to him. They don't try and get creative. They don't try to run the fullback. They don't try and throw it on a bootleg to the tight end. They literally say, we're in the 10-yard line. Let's not try and fix what isn't broken. Kenny Walker into the end zone. Now, there are scenarios where selling high on players that are popping off makes sense. We've talked about this. Even Kenneth Walker comes up in these conversations. So don't give me that, oh, Smitty, you've talked about trading anybody. We talk about trading everybody. I'll trade Bijan if I can sell high. I'll trade Kenneth Walker if I get the right return. If I can get Eckler in another piece, because Eckler's bye-week free. This guy's bye-week free. There's a lot of advantages of selling a player high. The thing is, coming off the injury, I don't know that people are going to buy him high right now. Anybody that owns Kenneth Walker, you're shoving him in your lineup, you're letting him do Kenneth Walker things, and he'll score touchdowns, and he'll get a whole lot of value for you. It is a tough matchup. It absolutely is a tough matchup. But we've seen this before in fantasy, have we not? Where we think that one story is going to tell the other and extrapolate over to this other narrative. And it doesn't work that way sometimes, and most of the time in the NFL and in fantasy football. Browns shut down Christian McCaffrey. Browns defense is tough. Browns defense almost injure McCaffrey. Really, they do injure McCaffrey. And they're just out to smash and destroy the opposing running back and quarterback and situation. The Browns D is really good. Imagine if they had a quarterback. Imagine if the Cleveland Browns were smart enough to go get a great quarterback. Imagine if the Cleveland Browns were smart enough to go get DeAndre Hopkins in the offseason and bring him over to help get their quarterback, their mistake of a quarterback, back on track. The guy with the bruisey poo in his shoulder? That guy. And imagine that Hopkins is available via trade for a ham sandwich and said team still doesn't go and try and acquire him. And yes, since we're on that topic, I'll get to this in a little bit for sure, but Jerome Ford's making this miraculous recovery, it seems, in the team, the Browns, the brass, the coaching, the fan base, everybody, the news reporters, the beat writers are all extremely surprised that this kid is out there and looking like he's testing his ankle at practice. He's very questionable now instead of doubtful or out for week number 8. Ford was thought to be, high ankle sprain. He's going the way of potentially Khalil Herbert. He's going the way of a lot of running backs like Kyron, that they kind of like putter a little bit. They stutter and putter on the idea of putting them on IR, putting them out for 4 games. Let's see if maybe they can just miss 2 or 3, and then eventually they throw them on IR. This guy right here, milder injury. Every degree of a sprain is different. There's grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. A lot of people hear high ankle and they think, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and they run their mouth about that. And there's certainly different degrees in severity levels. So apparently Ford might be back, if not this week, in the next contest. So that's great news. But we'll break all that down on the 8 p.m. show. We're here to talk about Kenny Walker. We're here to discuss Kenny freaking Skywalker.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth lightsaber swinging Skywalker.
So let's do it. Let's do this. Put him in your lineup. Do it live. This is still a guy that should not be on waivers. I'm gonna look at the availability of Charbonnet. Let's pull up. I'll pull up the Sleeper app, and I'll see what this guy is. How many teams, how many rosters he's available or consumed on. Let's see here. Let's type in Zach Charbonnet. If I see anything above 30, I'm gonna lose it. Rostered in 48% of sleeper drafts. Rostered in about 40 to 45% of Yahoo leagues. What? And this is coming off positive news where Walker's been taken off the injury report. So Charbonnet, he's been taken off the injury report, and I'm here to tell you and send you a message. Why in the hell is Zach Charbonnet only rostered in 48% of leagues? I know some of you play in grandma leagues and some of you play in small bench leagues. I get it. But even with the threat until just now, the news just broke that Kenneth Walker is off the injury report and starting week number 8. And he's not considered injured or it's not a concern. Maintenance for a star player. Maintenance for a touchdown monster. But what in the hell is everyone thinking in the near 50, right around 50% on average across all formats, Yahoo, etc. What in the hell are people thinking leaving this man, Zach Charbonnet, on the waiver wire so we can come into the week 9, like if this were to go south, right? It didn't. But how in the hell is he still out there? I don't even understand how the freak out that just occurred all week long on this guy didn't trigger a massive wave of people to go grab Zach Charbonnet. I'm asking you all to go to the freaking waiver wire now and pick up Zach Charbonnet. I asked you if I should grab him and you said no. When would I have said that though, Amy? This is not a player you leave on the waiver wire. Maybe you gave me a list, where you had 4 bench spots or 5 bench spots and you couldn't drop anybody. That potentially could be the case, but there's almost no scenario I can think of unless it was that, or you have 4 or 5 bench spots, you had quarterback injuries, something like that. There's no way this man should be on the waiver wire at all. You need to go grab him right now. K9 has no injury designation heading into week 8. Yep, Space Ricky. I don't know if anybody's asking that. It's right freaking here if anybody is unsure of what's going on. Look at their schedule, Smitty, because of his horrible schedule. What, the Niners twice? That schedule you're speaking of, Picks, is lightening and lessening as we speak. The Niners are 2 matchups upcoming, but the Niners are not a dangerous opponent for running backs or wide receivers at this moment in time. They're not. They're not, Picks. And you can pretend that the schedule doesn't change and evolve, Picks, but it does. And Kenneth Walker's schedule does not look as bad today as it did 1 month ago. And so if you're going to avoid him, you're talking about avoiding picking up a handcuff that would single-handedly win leagues. You're avoiding him because of a schedule, and you're not picking up a sleeping giant. Even though we love this man in this entire video, the reason I'm here right now doing a breaking live stream show is to tell you there's no concern. He's not even on the injury report anymore. And it's been maintenance. They're trying to make sure they keep their star player healthy so he can continue to score touchdowns. But if people think that this guy shouldn't be grabbed, like Pick said, because of their horrendous schedule. Oh, so we're just going to avoid picking up a sleeping giant because he plays the Niners twice. I know the schedule is tough. It looked very tough a month and a half ago. I'm not that scared of it right now. This is a touchdown specialist. I'm not worried about it. Pete Carroll loves to use this man, and I'm fully on board the Walker train. Would I trade him for Eckler in a piece because people are freaking out about Eckler? Absolutely. An overreacting Oscar that thinks Eckler's garbage right now because he came back and his one game back didn't do anything. Struggled a little bit. Looks like he's still hampered a tiny bit, but he's got every week he's going to get healthier and healthier. Do I take Eckler in a piece for Kenneth Walker? That's good business. That's very good business. Pete Carroll said his hammer. He is his hammer, so he can't. Wait, let me put this on the screen because it's too small for me to read over there. Can't fit in the facility doorway. Nick, appreciate you, Nick. Rest of season half PPR Swift or Kamara. Kamara, bro. Kamara's playing like an absolute giant right now. Okay. All right, let's get to some of these super chats here. Thomas, appreciate you. Thomas says, can only start one, George Pickens, Christian Watson, Ridley, or Jacoby Myers. Pickens is your safest play, but your highest risk, highest reward with the highest upside is Ridley. And I know everyone's running away from Ridley. Pickens is safer, though, if you need safety. Ridley's your potential 2 or 3 point guy, but also chance of maybe going for like, I would say like a potential 25 point game. Like that's what he's got. But Pickens has that like 18, 20 point potential as well. So Quesadilla, appreciate you. And for the first super chat of the day, give you a standing O, my broski. Appreciate you, Josh, for coming in strong with that super. Hold Up says start 3, Smitty, Walker, Adams, DJ Moore, Gibbs. I'm going to put DJ Moore on the bench with the quarterback situation. But, you know, that could go either way. Avon, Hunt just cleared. Hunt or Gibbs, running back 2. We're going Gibbs. Gibbs is a top 5 potential running back lock this week. Anybody considering trading Gibbs, it's not a bad idea to explore, but this will be a big week. I have Barkley, Pollard, K9. Trade Barkley for Waddle straight up. Not enough on the fair market value. I like where your head is at, but you're selling Barkley very low. Calvin Ridley or Alexander Madison. Not even close, Professor X. This is a near ridiculous question. I'm not giving up on Calvin Ridley like everybody else is. I don't even understand it. It doesn't even make sense. I get he struggled, but he still had 2 100-yard games. The guy's still getting targeted, and at the end of that game, if you watch it, he's blanketed the whole game. Makes an amazing, spectacular one-handed catch that was in, and the officials did not rule it in, and they should have. They should have reviewed it. They didn't. They rushed the play. He had an amazing, spectacular one-handed catch. He is so talented. The big problem's been they've been using him as a field stretcher so they could spread out everything and get a lot of easy dump offs to Kirk, and that's part of the problem. Perception is reality. It is what it is. This is all factual stuff that's going to continue to resonate every week, right? So Kirk's going to continue to get the easy stuff, and so there are going to be games until Zay Jones is back fully healthy. There will be games where on those deeper passes that are lesser percentage to get connected on, So Kirk's getting these like 70% connection passes, throwing out arbitrary numbers, but I believe they're probably pretty accurate. So Kirk's running around doing these easy conversion receptions, shorter stuff, but easy to convert. Like, there it is, 70% chance he's getting that one, 80% chance he's getting that one. Ridley's running deep, long routes, stretching the field that are probably 30% catch rate. And so when he has a penalty, or he's double teamed, or he catches one and they rule it out, that can be detrimental to his overall scoring. And I get that's part of the problem. But Ridley is a great buy low. I'm going to have a video on it in a little bit. Ridley and a couple other players coming up here soon, maybe before our show at 8 p.m. But he's a great buy low, Ridley. He's a player that's going to be inconsistent to a degree. That's the risk. When I say high risk, high reward, that's why it's high risk, high reward, because he could potentially not deliver on some games. He is in a position of inconsistent play because he's stretching the field and he's getting all of these deep, harder to connect on targets. So when they don't connect, he has a bad game. But he's saturated with targets, especially at the end of the game when things matter, and T-Law force-fed him like 3 times in a row at the end of that game. None of them connected, but I'm all about going and getting Ridley before he bounces back. The moment he has 100 yards and 2 scores, every Ridley doubter out there is going to instantly forgive him. Immediate, instant forgiveness. Blanket forgiveness, blank check of forgiveness coming Ridley's way. And at the cost of a wide receiver 3 or flex play, especially when your decisions on the table here, your decision-making process is like, do I start Madison, who's sharing carries, hasn't done good all year, or a wide receiver 1, low end, that everyone thinks is not even a wide receiver 3? I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm not trying to continue to go throw more good money after bad. This is not a case of that. I know people think it is, and it's not. This is me unbiasedly telling you that Ridley is still elite. He's just in an inconsistent situation that will rectify itself slightly once Zay is back. And until he's back, I'm going to admit to you, it's 2 points or it's 25. You got to ride. But the problem is, if you don't ride Ridley the entire way, you're going to sit him during his 25-point game, and you're going to start him during his 2 or 5-point game. And then you're going to be mad at me. You're going to be mad at Ridley. And even when Ridley goes and explodes, you're going to be pissed off. Just like every Kincaid owner out there that either cut him or benched him this week, and he goes off, now you're upset at him. You have a guy on your bench that went off, and now you're mad he went off on your bench. That's the nature of fantasy. It's part of the fun, actually. Space Ricky, appreciate you. This one here from Josh. Again, 2 teams. Choose 2 wide receivers to start from each. First team, Higgins, Ridley, Watson, Palmer, and Mike Thomas. Give me Higgins and Ridley, unless we hear, and I think we might, that Watson's looking, and he's looking good on the practice field, but we just need to hear a couple more pieces of confirmation. And then I'm leaning toward like Ridley, Watson, but right now, Higgins for now. Second team, Garrett Wilson, Kirk, Dell, Watson, Devontae Smith. For me, it's Garrett Wilson and Devontae Smith, or Kirk and Devontae Smith. I'm not sitting Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is a phenomenal, amazing, fantastic player that is going to bounce back, and I want every share I can get my hands on, given that it's dirt cheap. It's cellar dweller pricing. It's Ridley pricing right now. Devontae Smith is not a wide receiver 1 to most anybody, and I'm scooping the hell out of the buy low value there. Put the sleeper schedule on the screen, please. I don't have it screenshotted right now, picks, but I've already gone through this over and over and over, and we went through his schedule. I'm the one that put it up on screen, picks. His schedule looked bad a month ago. Doesn't look as bad anymore. And not to mention, he's a touchdown matchup proof player that in a situation where the team is down and throwing him the football, you can say till you're blue in the face that his rushing schedule looks bad, but when you score touchdowns, and when you can still score touchdowns against the Cleveland Browns, when you can score touchdowns and run all over the 49ers defense right now, that DC in San Francisco, the fan base is calling for his neck. The fan base doesn't want the DC to stay put in San Francisco because the defense is not playing well at all. And there's all kinds of problems there. Those two San Francisco games are good matchups now for Kenneth Walker picks. So there's no argument here that the schedule should be why. Because picks, you're trying to argue right now, and I appreciate you. You know I love you, pal. You know you're my boy Blue, and you're dropping super chats. But I'm always going to be honest with you, though, no matter if you're dropping a super chat or not. You're making an argument with me right now, picks, that he should not be picked up, Zach Charbonnet, because his schedule is too brutal. When he is a sleeping giant, one of the best backups that has win a league top 10 running back upside if he gets injected into the lineup. Just look what Walker's doing. If you think he's not worth picking up because of some matchups, I got a bridge to sell you, bro. I'm just telling you right now. I appreciate you picks, but this is a losing battle right now. Appreciate you. Heads up, I found Devonta Smith. He says he's going for 80 plus yards and a TD this week, says Lego Batman. Let's go ahead and see. Lego's putting up the bat signal. Devonta Smith has answered the call. Devonta Smith to the moon. Let's go. Lego Batman, appreciate your $20 hauler. I'm not gonna do a set right now. We'll do
alert. Super chat alert.
I'm going to do a set tonight. Every time I get a $20 hauler, I got to pump out a set, workout, get fit. You guys are my trainers. So I owe you one tonight, Lego. Remind me. Anthony with the super chat. Anthony, appreciate you, my broski. I'm saying that he has a bad schedule. That's all I said. Nor did I say not to pick him up. Well, you were saying, I said, why is nobody picking up? You said because he's got a bad schedule. Maybe picks you're trying to say, and this could be me, and my bad. You're trying to say that's why people aren't doing it. I don't know that that's really. I think people that aren't picking up Zach Charbonnet aren't astute enough to look deep enough into the schedule. They're just not grabbing him. They just don't see the value in him for whatever reason. I think you're giving people, if this is what your argument is, I think you're giving people way too much credit to think the people that don't know Charbonnet is good enough to pick up have the schedule on top of mind. I don't think that's it though, Picks. But maybe you're saying that's why, but you would pick him up. I don't know. Picks, you can call in if you want to discuss it. I'm not mad at you or arguing with you, really. I'm just telling you how I feel based on the comment. Trade away DK, Ridley, and Foreman for DJ Moore and Mixon. DK, Ridley, Foreman for DJ Moore, Mixon. To be honest with you, I would not make this trade. I would rather have Ridley and DK, and even though Foreman might be a player for quite a few weeks, and that's it, or maybe even lose all of his, half his work, and then lose all of his work the next week to Roshan. We don't even know, but I'm certainly not trading DK and Ridley away for DJ Moore and Mixon. Mixon, I don't believe in. I think there's maybe some more trade value with him because he's an RB, but you can't guarantee you'll flip him. I bet this owner's been trying to get rid of him forever. So I'm not going that route. Devonta Smith, Flowers, and McLaurin, pick two. Probably Flowers and Devonta Smith. If you wanted to go McLaurin over Flowers, I could get behind that, but I'm not sitting Devonta Smith. I think he's an absolute gem, an absolute bounce back candidate that I'm backing until the sun don't shine. Traded Pacheco and Godwin for Eckler. Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right, sorry, Picks. If I read you wrong, Picks, I'm sorry. If you look at schedule, it's all red and orange, and if you look at rest of season schedule, it's horrible. The people have easy access to that. Picks, maybe you're right to a degree, but again, I'm arguing here, and I could be wrong, that if anybody's not picking him up because of that, they're scared Scotties. That's fine. I don't think people that are ignoring the upside of Charbonnet are that astute and that ahead of the game. I believe they're week-to-week players. They're not even looking at schedule. But I could be wrong, Picks. It doesn't explain why he's available. Given the threat of Walker maybe not playing this week based on the news wires, all week long didn't trigger some sort of massive panic to go get Charbonnet off waivers. That part's astonishing to me. And now that Walker is going to play, I imagine that 48% of all teams rostering Walker goes to like 44, 43. Because now people will be like, they're let down. The balloon got deflated. Now Charbonnet's not going to get a start. I'm disappointed in him. I'm going to cut him. I bet it goes to 43, 42%. Check your transaction wire. If Charbs gets dropped, go grab him immediately. Yo, Smitty, appreciate the work. I have a big trade question. Would it be easier to call in? It involves K9, Charbonnet, Kincaid, and Achane. Sure. Call in, Thomas. Phone lines are open for a brief amount of time. Thomas, I can give you about a minute. Dial into the phone line, which is...
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Which is sponsored by Christopher Smith. Call into the Christopher Smith phone line. Not related, by the way. Christopher Smith dropped a $430 super chat total last night. And so he is the sponsor of the phone line going forward for the month of... October and all of November, to be frank. When you drop something to that degree, you are absolutely going to get that extra month. So until somebody drops a $435 super chat, I don't know that that's going to happen in the month of October and November. Christopher Smith is the pretty much the owner of the phone line. 915 caller, who is this and where are you calling from?
Andrew, I'm from Arizona. Arizona.
Andrew from
Yes.
Glendale. What's up, Andrew?
Yes, sir. I had this big trade. I have Hawkinson and Saquon, and I was trying to get Pittman, AK, and Dalton Schultz, and I just picked up Kincaid on the waivers.
Okay,
but I'm getting vetoed.
Vetoed? Read it again?
Yeah.
Read the trade off again?
So I have Saquon and Hawkinson, and I just picked up Kincaid. And I'm trying to get Pittman, Alvin Kamara, and Dalton Schultz.
Why is that getting vetoed?
It's a good question. That's what I was wondering. They
Wait, hold on a second. The weird part about this. Let me put this. This might be Thomas. Hold on a second. You're live on the show. Who's this? Where are you calling from? I don't know. He hung up. Okay. The crazy part about this, bro, is I don't even know what side's being vetoed. You know, like I imagine they think Saquon and Hawkinson is worth more value, right? I imagine.
Yes, that's what they're saying.
But like Kamara is the best player in the deal, and Pittman's not a bum. I don't understand how you could even veto this trade. This doesn't even.
That's
make
what we were
sense.
saying. It's exactly what we were saying. Yeah, I don't know. I just needed to get your opinion on it, make sure I wasn't tripping.
You're not tripping. Do you want to call the commissioner on three-way?
Put him on the phone right now?
Yeah, do it.
I wish.
What do you mean? Why does everybody say no to that?
Seems like it's a reach because I don't think he's going to hop on. I can try. I don't think he will, though.
Try. Tell him I want to come on and discuss this. I want to discuss how in the hell you think that this is not something that somebody should be able to feel helps their team, or I just don't understand it. Like Kamara is an absolute monster. He's the best player in the deal. I'm not saying I love the trade for you necessarily either, though. Like I think Hawkinson and Barkley is a lot to give up for Kamara, I will say. But to veto it doesn't make sense. But I don't know that I love the trade though. I feel like Barkley just gained a little more value. He's got a little foothold on some fantasy football capital. And so I feel like maybe it is a little much, but bro, it's not crazy at all. It's not this is not a horrible vetoable trade. All right, Andrew, call back if you got another question.
Thank you. Have a good one, sweetie.
All right, later. All right, Thomas, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up?
I appreciate it. So I've got Kincaid and I've got Ingram. It's a 10 team. It's my home league. So I played Kincaid last night, and somebody hit me up. They want Kincaid and they want Charbonnet, but I have Kenneth Walker. But they want to give me Achane.
I'm going to say right now, take it. But it's really frustrating when people want the other piece of your running stable. It's just such a stupid.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. He's got Brees Hall. He's got Pacheco.
I hate that.
He's got Barkley. I don't know why he wants Charbonnet. I offered him Foreman. I offered him Henderson. And he wants Charbonnet. Like, we live in Seattle, so I don't know if it's just a hometown thing.
Maybe.
I don't want to give up my handcuff.
I hate when people do that. I hate it. It drives me nuts. It's a pet peeve.
I'm super frustrated. I'm like, why do you want? I'm like,
yeah,
why do you want Charbonnet? Like,
why you got to be a dick about it? Why you got to be such a jerk about it? But I take Achane out of run.
This guy is in second place, and he doesn't have any tight end. He's got Njoku right now.
Bro,
and he's the only team in my 10-team league that needs a tight end.
Bro,
so I'm just
it's an easy decision. Don't finagle. Don't try and negotiate. Just take it and run.
I take the Achane side?
Yeah, bro. I mean, why would you not? He's a top 5 running back the moment he comes back.
I was just saying because I have K9 and Charbonnet.
I know you do, but I can't control that. I can't control that, Thomas. But you're being handed a top 5 running back and you're arguing with it. Like
I'm not.
He's trying to hand you the league-winning formula. I think it drives me nuts when people want to try and figure out a way to pull. Let me try and divide your running back. Let me try and break up your marriage. That's what he's trying to do. That's what it feels like he's doing. He wants to break up your marriage. He's not a true friend because he wants Charbonnet. But guess what? He's giving you the best part of this trade and a win-a-league player in Devon Achane. So it's not even a debate. You just got to do it. If you start finagling, he's going to pull out of the deal. He's going to call up somebody and go, "Hey, Steve from billing. This is Bob from accounting. Do you think I should trade Devon Achane?" No, Smitty, the fantasy football show. Who's that? I haven't heard of that. He says he's a top 5 running back. Okay, hold on, Thomas. I don't want to do this deal anymore. And here you are trying to kick around. I know it sucks, but you're trying to kick around the Zach Charbonnet conversation. So
yeah, it sucks.
Let's move on, bro. Let's do it live.
I tried to do some paid for Achane, like straight up, but
if you're gonna own him, start saying his name right though. Thomas is Achane, Devon Achane. If you make this trade and execute this trade, when he comes over, you need to greet him properly. Hey, Devon Achane, my name is Thomas. Thank you for coming over to Team Thomas. But you got to start saying his name right, okay?
Devon Achane.
Achane. All right, good job, man. Smash.
Right,
go do it.
I appreciate the work, man.
Tell me when you get it done, so we know we can give you a little got him message. Okay.
All righty, man. All right, appreciate your work.
All right, later. Okay.
Later.
That was an easy smash. Let's go over to Terrell, the weatherman. What's up, Terrell? What can we do for you, pal?
What's up, Smitty? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Are you gonna be there for me on Sunday morning with the weather?
Well, I'm about to dig into it. I'm hearing about some games, some weather's coming in Miami, so I got to do my research about that. But I'll be coming.
Okay.
I'm coming.
All right. What do you got? What do you got today?
I have a flex question. Yeah, I have a flex question tonight. I have Garrett Wilson. This is PPR. Garrett Wilson or Drake London, and I'm playing against Ritter.
I'm gonna go Garrett Wilson. And I'm gonna have a video on this very, very soon. I still feel like Garrett Wilson is still scratching the surface of a low-end wide receiver 1, but super high-end wide receiver 2. The schedule opens up like mad for the Jets, man. They had one of the most brutal beginnings to the season schedule-wise. That's why they brought Dalvin Cook in. That's why they didn't run Brees Hall out there, because it was a tough schedule. But now it's going to open up big time. And you're talking about this Garrett Wilson character that everybody's writing off and calling a potential bust. And I get it, and everybody's frustrated. I understand, and I'm frustrated as well. But this guy is potentially, I would say top 9 to 15 capable at wide receiver going forward. 50% of Zach Wilson's red zone targets have been to Garrett Wilson. And he's been
and when he's under pressure.
Yeah, he's been saturating him with targets and laser focused on him. So as much as we don't love Zach Wilson, he's okay right now. He's feeding him right now, and there's a lot of touchdowns that have been left on the table for Garrett Wilson that would have made Garrett Wilson actually, very arguable in a lot of people's minds as a top freaking top 10 wide receiver had he pulled in about 3 or 4 of these touchdowns that have been kind of left on the table. But yeah, Garrett Wilson for me, but they're both good. They're both good, bro.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate
All right.
it. And yeah, I'm going to get this weather together, and then I'll call back on Sunday.
All right, later. Appreciate you. Is second opinion, Josh and Corzan can stay muted just real quickly. One of you's got some major feedback. Just mute real quick. Chad Bender with a $20 hauler says Smitty, Hill and Chase wide receiver, flex Addison or Devonta Smith. I think Addison, Chad. First of all, Chad, appreciate your super chat. $20 hauler to the moon, pal. Let me hit this button here.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Chad, appreciate you. This is a tough question because I really, really believe in both these guys. I think Addison's safer. I think that's your safe play. You need safety, go Addison. If you want a big swing with a chance for 30 points, not that Addison can't do that too, though. You know what I'm saying? Then I probably lean Devonta Smith there, but I think Addison's pretty damn safe, man. And would I explore trading him high to get Smith into the lineup and to beef up a running back or your quarterback situation? I would. Addison's got tremendous trade value right now. Thomas, appreciate you. Smitty, appreciate the work. Have a big trade. Would it be easier to call? That was Thomas that just called in. Thank you for that super chat. This one here, Ridley or DK and Foreman for DJ Moore or Mixon. Ridley or DK, I'd rather trade DK, honestly, than Ridley. And I know that might shock a lot of people, but that's how I feel. And Foreman for DJ Moore or Mixon. I'm going to say no to all of it, though. I'm going to say I'd rather just keep Ridley and DK. You have the two better players right now, in my opinion. Thank you for your super chat. And then 217 with a super says, who wins this trade? Carr, Pollard, Higgins. Let me do this one in 1 second, Frags. Let me get to this in 1 second. I'll put these super chats on the screen, and let me get this caller on hold here. 520 caller. 520 caller. I'm going to put you on hold, but what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm from Bisbee, Arizona.
Travis from Arizona. We got a lot of Arizona people calling in the last couple of weeks. It's pretty awesome. Travis from Arizona. Travis from Arizona.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't mean to be mean here, but Bisbee, technically, almost not considered Arizona. I'm just kidding. Just joking, bro.
No, you're right. You're right. It's more Mexico. You're right.
You're like
right,
You're like the outcast. This is like when someone says like Buffalo is not in New York. That's Buffalo. Like that.
Hey,
Bisbee.
I'm not going to argue with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to argue about it.
All right. Hey, hang tight real quick. Put yourself on mute if you don't mind. And let me come back to Travis. Let's go over to second opinion, Josh, and I'll hit these super chats after. Second opinion, Josh.
Cool,
go ahead.
No problem.
Yo, Smitty, I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. But so my team is 1-6. But it's my big money or my big buying team, and I kind of just wanted your opinion on what you think my chances were to make a comeback. Because everybody in my league is pretty much like everybody's. I thought this
was gonna be quick. Second opinion, Josh. You're like, this is gonna be really short. Sit back, grab a brewski, and let me just tell you my life story.
Okay, so my roster is Jordan Love and Justin Fields at QB, and then I got Raheem Mostert, Breece Hall, and Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Christian Kirk, Garrett Wilson, Tank Dell, George Pickens, Devontae Smith, Christian Watson, and Dalton Kincaid.
Okay.
But yeah, so like my biggest thing is that I just got so many wide receiver 2s and 3s that like I'm constantly giving myself a headache about who to start. So I always got all my running backs in, like, JT, Gibbs, Mostert, and Hall. I just wanted to know what your opinion was on if you think that this 1-6 team is able to make a comeback and push for the playoffs.
I mean, look, Hall, JT, Gibbs, Mostert's fantastic. I think it's a really, really good squad there from that running back perspective. I think your wide receivers are pretty decent. Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Kirk and Pickens, those are very, very quietly solid. Kincaid, obviously, we love that. If I'm you, I'm trying to move one of the RBs with one of the wide receivers to go get an elite wide receiver. And probably the cheapest one I can come up with right now based on how they played lately. And I know that a Cooper Kupp owner is going to go, I wouldn't trade Cooper Kupp. I wouldn't do it, Smitty. It's stupid to even suggest it. I own him. The world revolves around me, and I wouldn't trade him. So, but Cooper Kupp, there's so many questions I get on the daily where people are like, hey, now that Puka's taken over, and they literally, and I'm not saying Puka's going to drop off or they're not going to rotate, but the way people talk about Cooper Kupp right now, I can promise you, not in every league. I can't control every league. I can't control that in your league the Cooper Kupp owner is in love with Cooper Kupp. Like, I can't control that. But I'm telling you that he's probably the most vulnerable top 5-6 potential wide receiver to go get. Thomas, if you can mute real quick and just, take a stab at that type of trade. So, like, if you can get rid of Gibbs and Gibbs is going to explode this week, hopefully. Should explode. So it's going to be tough to trade him and watch him go off, but he's got good trade value now. That could diminish next week with the threat of Monty coming back, even if he has a big game. Or you could wait and he could go nuts. If everybody would mute real quick that's not talking right now, or maybe that's just second opinion Josh's phone. I don't know. But Mostert and maybe one of the wide receivers. No, I don't trade Devonta Smith. I try to trade like Watson or Kirk. Like, Kirk is somebody that I sell high on. It doesn't mean I hate Kirk. I think Kirk can be amazing, consistent down the stretch, but he's a good sell high. And when you're talking about buying a player like Kupp, you got to sell another player that's doing well. So Gibbs and Kirk for Kupp, not very likely to happen, but you could try. Mostert and Kirk for Kupp, not super likely to happen, but you can try. And if anybody thinks, oh, these are dumb trades, no one's going to do those. Again, everybody saying that in the chat right now or later on in the comments, has not a bad trade been executed in your league so far this year? Give me a break. We're not out here to try and sing Kumbaya and swap even Steven players. We're out here to absolutely annihilate our opponent in a trade. I don't care if they don't talk to you for a week. I don't concern myself with that. All I know is unless you try, you don't know. Because somebody else might get Cooper Kupp dirt cheap and you say, oh my God, I can't believe he did that trade. And here you are twiddling your thumbs because you think he won't do it. So you go after St. Brown. You go after Cooper Kupp. You go after, even Lamb is on the table, I think, in this situation, doing some sort of Kirk.
Well, I had Tony Pollard and I had Nico Collins, but, like, I just wasn't winning, and I got to a point where, like, I traded them both off for Raheem Mostert, Christian Kirk, and Devontae Smith, which I thought that I smashed that. I don't know your opinion on that, but, like, I just wanted more depth, in all areas. But
look, your team's good. You don't have to freak out and make a move. The other vulnerable part of your team, even though I do like Jordan Love still, I'm not, like, completely off Jordan Love, but I still, when I look at a team like this and I say, if you could get into a Josh Allen, not likely after his big game. So it comes down to in Mahomes, his huge game, and Hurts is still scoring consistently. So really, it's really comes down to like Burrow's still there, and Tua, and maybe Kyler. Even if you want to take a crazy chance, you could go get Kyler cheaply. But I think the quarterback move is almost as important as this other move you're looking at. All right, hey, appreciate you. Second opinion, Josh. That was not a short question. You completely lied to everybody, but we appreciate you anyway. We'll see you later. Okay, let's go over to Corzan. Corzan? Is it Corzan?
It's Corzan, but it's
Corzan.
Picks.
Corzan.
It's my picks. Yeah, I was calling to just clarify that I wasn't arguing with you or wasn't a battle or anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes I go off on a tirade. It's not that I'm really mad at you or anything, bro. I don't want you to ever take it.
Oh, I understand. It's hard to see my tone or even even read all the text, and you could read that and then just be completely out of context.
Yeah,
I completely understand.
Here, I'll take a lap on that. So basically, Pick Super Chat and said the reason is his schedule, and I assumed, like an idiot, you could say, I'm sorry, that he was saying His schedule is tough, Smitty. That's why we're not going after Charbonnet. But what he was saying was he thinks the reason people aren't is his schedule. He was merely making a comment. It was my fault. I blew it out of proportion. But, that's just my nature. I never mean it in a bad way. So picks to the moon. Let's send picks to the moon, and let's send me on a lap. Okay.
So you didn't need to do all that?
No. Picks, go ahead. What can I do for you, Picks?
The only reason why I even brought that up is because I have Charbonnet and I have Kenneth Walker, but I did some trades and I have Eckler Kamara, and I'm trying to sell Kenneth Walker, and nobody wants them, and that's why they telling me I don't want Kenneth Walker because they play Dallas, they play Philly, they play San Fran twice, and they play Tennessee. Why would I want him? He's good, dude. He's good.
Well,
I'm in 3 leagues and I have them in all 3, and that's what they've told me. So that's what I was saying is people are not wanting them because of schedule.
Yeah, and astute owners might be thinking that, but what I'm trying to say, so you're correct, okay? The people that are denying your trade are astute and looking things up, but what I'm trying to say is there's no amount of logic, because it's bad logic, that tells you not to pick up Zach Charbonnet because he has a tough schedule.
Yes.
Not every game is going to be tough. Not every game is going to make him, somebody that can't be produced if he's in there. I just don't understand how in 50% on average of leagues, especially with the threat all week long of all the news wires and Twitter doctors saying that Walker is a big threat to miss game week 8, that people weren't like racing to pick him up. I'm just baffled by it. And the fact that anybody that did pick him up had their balloon deflated because now Walker's not even on the injury report, they're going to potentially react and cut him. So everybody needs to make sure they go out and grab Charbonnet. He shouldn't be out there. He is a sleeping giant league winner. And I think the people that are overlooking picking him up aren't, like I said, astute enough to say, it's the schedule. Like, he is one of the best pickups right now and hold. Him, still Bigsby, Spears as well. Spears, Bigsby, and Charbonnet. I need to do a video on those 3.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, man.
I know this is your Kenneth Walker show. I have some other questions, but I don't want to take too much time.
Yeah, we'll be back at 8 p.m. to do all the general news that's all floating out there. So come back and call in picks. I got you in the system, so it'll be easier for you to get through now. So I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll call back around 8, and I'll have some questions for you.
All right, my bad again. Later, picks.
No, you're good. No need to apologize, Vinny.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes I, it's just I almost don't even like. I don't want to say I don't feel bad, but it's like I'm reactive to the things on my screen, and it's sometimes I'm yelling at the opinion, not of the person that said it, but just because it's out there, and it makes me passionate. Hold on 1 second, callers. Keep yourself muted real quick. Trade Garrett Wilson and Cook for Amon-Ra. Garrett Wilson and Cook for Amon-Ra. I would take Amon-Ra, Asan. That's a great trade. Bryson. Pollard, Evans for Tyreek, Pierce. My running backs are Eckler, Achane, Hall, and I'm 3 and 4. This is a move I do. My other wide receivers, Olave, Ridley, Watson, Dell. Okay, so Pollard, Evans for Tyreek, Pierce. I would take Tyreek. But it is a lot to give. The other owner is doing well as well in this trade. No one's blasting the other player, but you got depth to do it, and Tyreek is just on another level. 6-1. Andy's going to play this week. 6-1. Traded Mixon, Ridley, Javonte for Brees, Pittman, Judy. Not vetoed, but league mates are mad. Okay, so you traded Mixon, Ridley, Javonte. I don't know who pretended to mute and didn't mute, but we can hear you hacking away there. Just mute real quick for me, guys. Everybody. That includes all 4 of you, not 3 of the 4. Just real quickly. Thank you. Appreciate you. This is traded. Hello? Traded. I love how people, no offense to the person that didn't mute, but I love how people just think it doesn't apply to them. They're like, no, I'm quiet. I'm not going to mute. The Denny does that all the time. I asked Denny to mute, and he's like, okay, I'm just not going to mute. I'm quiet. I ain't a mouth breather. And then all of a sudden there's a bird in the background. There's cars going by. They don't realize their microphone's picking up everything in the world. It does make me chuckle a little bit. Okay, so traded Mixon, Ridley, Javonte for Breece, Pittman. I would take the Breece Hall side, not Vito, but the league mates are mad. That's great. I'm glad they're mad. I have Josh Hill, Josh Allen, maybe Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen. Okay, Gabe Davis, Hawkinson, HN. Absolute good work. Work for what you want. You did a good job there. Who wins this trade? Carr, Pollard, Higgins, Andre. What? Who is this? Carr, Pollard, Higgins. Andrews. Okay, I was like, Andre. Who the hell's Andre? But it's Andrews. It's just cut off and dropped down on the next screen. I'm like, who the hell's Andre? Andre Rison? That's the last Andre I remember. Carr, Pollard, Higgins, Andrews, a.k.a. Andre, and Charbonnet or Burrow, Kamara, Evans, and Kincaid. Andrews, Sharbs. I mean, it depends on the quarterback situation, bro. I would say, like, if Carr's your starter now, that makes me want to vomit in my mouth from a fantasy perspective. Pollard, Higgins, and Andrews is still very good, though. I'd probably lean Burrow, Kamara, Evans, and Kincaid, though, because we could take Kamara and Pollard out. We could say that Burrow and Evans are better than Higgins and Andrews with Kincaid involved. So give me that Burrow side. Appreciate you. All right, let's go over to Travis from Arizona. Did you call in again, Travis? Did I never hang up on you?
Big Schmitty.
What's
Can't
up?
go to any city without girls showing them their kitties. It's an honor, bro.
What's up?
I just had a quick question. So in my league, nobody will trade with me because I'm a couple-time champ. So they kind of just all make trades amongst each other. But basically, I got Lawrence and the stack with Ridley. Ridley's felt like he's been in my lineup all 7 games, and he's just killed me, but I've kept him. But I got Douglas off the waiver wire from New England. I've got Dell, I've got Metcalf, and I've got Ridley. So I'm just a little nervous to throw Dell out or throw, I think it's going to be Douglas from New England that I'm going to have to put on the bench for Ridley. But, I've lost a chain. I lost Richardson. I lost, I've gotten so many good picks that have gotten hurt. So going into this one, I got Kyler on my bench, but I'm a little nervous if they say he's good to go on Saturday to start him against Baltimore.
Kyler's not playing. Kyler's not playing.
Oh, okay. They said there was a chance on Saturday they could designate him, so I didn't know.
Yeah, he's most likely out. He's doubtful.
Okay, no problem. So I got the Lawrence stack with Ridley. I just am a little. I know.
Okay, what's the question? What's the question, bro? What's the question? Whether you start Ridley or Dell?
Exactly, Ridley or Dell. I think Metcalf has got to go in there. With everybody that's out over there. So basically, Ridley or Dell.
Ridley. I like Dell a lot. I'm not saying Dell can't outscore him. But, Andre Johnson, yeah, that's another one. I blanked on Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson was good. But, yeah, Ridley for me. Dell, I love Dell, but I'm not benching Ridley. And like I said earlier, bro, Ridley, you got to ride out the inconsistent parts because he's going to get like those 30% catches that are 30% likely to be pulled in. And the days those don't land, he's going to have a bad game. But if you chase the points with them, you're going to miss the games he blows up, and then it's going to be a big nothing burger all year. Then you're going to hate that you owned Ridley.
No, I got to hold on to him. I'm invested.
I'm not saying hold on. Of course you hold on to him. I'm saying you got to start him. I think. I'm not saying that Walker can't outscore him. Yeah.
No, you're right.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Travis. Thanks, pal. Later. I don't know what his intro was about. I didn't quite hear it fully, but
hey, yo, Smitty.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, yo, Smitty. This is me, Thomas. I just called about that trade.
Yeah, what's up, Thomas?
For HN, and when you said call back, I did it. I smashed it.
Got him.
So you got HN and you gave up what? I already forgot.
I gave up Kincaid. I gave up Kincaid and Charbonnet. And I got HN. Remember, I just called in whatever.
I was saying I liked the Kincaid Charbonnet side way better. I'm just kidding, bro.
I was about to say, I just called you a couple minutes ago. You said smash it, pal.
I'm just kidding, bro.
God damn it.
I'm kidding. You got him, bro. You got him. You got him, pal.
Got him. Hey, well, shit. The only thing is now I got 3 Miami Dolphins.
Don't worry about it. Let me tell you something. Their offense is fire. Okay, so you're gonna be okay. All right. Hey, good job.
My TR, whatever. That's all good.
All right, good.
This is my 5th trade I've done in my home league so far, and I've won 4 straight. So.
Well, good job, man. You got him. Good job. Appreciate you.
Feeling pretty good. All right, dude.
Go change your pants now. Later.
Shit, I'm good, man. I'm good. All right.
That guy crapped his pants. Zero Gaming, you got 30 seconds.
What's going on, bro? Just want to say appreciate putting in the work, man. But so my squad is lit up, man. You know we won the Super Bowl last year, but I got PPR league. I got Herbert, Kamara, Eckler, Kirk, Flowers, and got the QK. I put him in because we said to. Swift, Hawkinson.
Hey, hold on one second. Let's back up a little bit. Herbert at quarterback, Kamara, Eckler, Swift. Keep going.
Christian Kirk, Flowers, Kincaid, and Hawkinson. Those are my starters, and I have a lot of people on my bench. So I'm not going to go through all those. I have Henderson and Smith on my bench that are like actual good like players.
Devonta Smith?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're probably wondering why, but this league does 2. You can do 2 tight ends or another running back or receiver. I have Hawkinson and Kincaid.
Hey, I mean, Kincaid balled out. I would definitely look to maybe trade one of the tight ends now that you've established that you have to. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, let me see what Smitty suggests for who to trade because they're both good.
Definitely trade. Again, Achan's going to be a guy to talk about for a lot of people, so I think that's a great move for you. I know you're good at RB, so that might open the door to another trade that goes for a wide receiver. But I don't let that affect me going and trying to get Achan. I think JJ. What's your record?
I am 4-3.
You could probably wait on JJ. So like JJ would be another thought. Like, could you somehow, some way get rid of like Kincaid, Kirk, and Swift for JJ? Like, I know it's a lot, but it's something to think about what your lineup would look like with Eckler, Kamara, Herbert, JJ, Hawkinson, Devonta Smith in there. Like, that's a really good lineup, bro. But Smith is your starter. He needs to be in there. Like, I'm starting him over. I hate to say this because I don't want to influence you to make the swap and then I'm wrong and you're pissed off or whatever. But I'd be starting Smith over Flowers personally. I like Flowers a lot. I think he's a great flex play. Like, had you not done.
The only reason why I have Flowers in this week is because the dude I'm versing has Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, think about what you're saying there. Like, so you're hoping that you get crossed out, canceled points potentially. Why not bank on what if Devonta Smith goes crazy and Lamar has a bad game and you're score? You know what I mean? Like, I would not look at your opponent. I think that's almost like saying, hey, I should start this Thursday night guy because he's playing on Thursday night and I can watch him. Like that. That's about what worrying about your opponent's team is. Sometimes there's some advantages to it, but it's more often than not a mistake to not play your best player because you're trying to play based on your opponent's team. Like that if that's not scared, I don't know what is. You know, no offense, but that feels scared to death. That feels like a petrified Peter move to me.
No, you know what it is? In our league, the quarterbacks score like the most points. So, for instance, like Lamar last week had 87, and he went crazy. So, like, it doesn't matter much. Like, if you do the Flowers, it isn't like.
Yeah, but what's that have to do with your flower? What does that have to do with your Flowers? Like, Hurts is gonna
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
He only had like 12, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but hey, if you look, I like Flowers a lot. Like, I don't want. That's why I said I almost didn't say anything because I almost don't want you to sit Flowers. Like, it sucks that you don't have a flex option available. I think you did good with the 2 tight ends, but Flowers has 1 touchdown on the year. He had 4 for 75 last week. He feels like he's coming around, but he doesn't feel like he's it doesn't have the ceiling that Devonta Smith has. Devonta Smith has that 100 yards and 2 touchdown ceiling. Flowers is going to get you that 90 and a touchdown very soon. It's going to happen, and I'm very curious to know if it is this week. But I'm telling you, if it's me, I'm starting Smith every week because, like Ridley, he also has this inconsistent, play that if you chase the points or try to, you're going to get burned, and you're gonna have Smith and not even benefit from it at all. You're just going to be so pissed off. But that's me.
That's my biggest fear, man. I'm like, I got Christian Kirk too, but I'm like, he's been so freaking consistent. I'm like, I'm not sitting him because he delivered every game. But I'm like, I don't know, man. I got too much players, man. Like especially my running backs,
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right. Good luck, my man.
Later. All right, Anthony from Georgia.
Yo, what up?
What's up?
What up? You got time for a team break right now? Or what?
Yeah, and Zero Gaming, I didn't give him very many trade ideas. I would say real quickly, Zero, he's not here anymore, but I'd just say like Kirk and a tight end for a wide receiver type of move. I would look Kirk and Hawkinson even for St. Brown. Swift and Hawkinson for, I would reach for the moon at RB. Those are just some ideas that I have. And throwing in Kirk or throwing in Kincaid to try and upgrade Herbert into a Hurts or something. You said it's a high scoring quarterback league. So Zero Gaming, I would definitely try and upgrade the quarterback. All right, go ahead, Anthony.
Okay, so this team is 1-6. I got T-Law, Brees Hall, Kamara, CeeDee Lamb, St. Brown. I started Kincaid last night, really at the flex. And then on the bench, like I got Tank Dell, Roschon, Warren, Henderson. Like I just any moves, like it's been pretty tough. I also had Anthony Richardson, but him getting hurt kind of wasn't good for me,
Yeah. Okay, so 1-6, T-Law, Hall, Kamara, CD, St. Brown, Ridley, Dell, and Kincaid.
Yeah, pretty much, and then
Hendy
some other bench. Warren.
Yeah,
Henderson.
I would say this team. It's hard to trade. The only thing I'm going to tell you to do is you try and upgrade your quarterback. That is the only move to make here. I don't know exactly what can be done to do it. Like, can Hendy and T-Law get you Tua right now? I don't know. Does Kyler and Tua are your only saving graces here, probably, without giving up a big piece.
What about should I try T-Law and Henderson for? So this guy, he's got Allen and Burrow. Should I try that for Burrow?
Yeah, absolutely. But if you can't get Burrow or Tua, which is going to be a tall order, to give up Hendy, maybe Hendy, Dell, and T-Law. Like, let's just say you gave him as much as you could. Then you got to start. You got to try and get Kyler. The person that owns Kyler, I venture to say, they may have got lucky and are smart too, getting Kyler in the nick of time, and they needed him. But there's a 50-60% chance the Kyler owner in every league doesn't even need him. So who's the quarterback that the Kyler Murray owner also has?
Hold on. Let me see. So he's got. He has Baker Mayfield as a starter, and he started him, so he kind of does need him.
Yeah, that sucks. Baker.
But
he's always a disappointment maker, no matter what. Even now, even being in the way of this trade, he's a disappointment maker. Baker.
Who, Baker?
Yeah. Okay.
I could still try to send him an offer for Murray, send him Henderson. I don't really need Henderson. I feel like.
Yeah, try. Try. Maybe because Kyler's not going to play this week, he'll do it, or something. But then you got to worry about this week.
So Skyler, Tua, or maybe Burrow, trying for that.
Yeah, if you got to give up Kincaid to get this quarterback upgrade, I think the quarterback upgrades, depending on who you get, could be vital. But
yeah, I also have Mayer on the bench too. I'm
I would be tempted, depending on who the quarterback was, to maybe, I don't know if a lot of Burrow's enough for me to get rid of Kincaid, to be honest. I love Burrow, but the Cav and just, the things aren't 100% yet. I think if I felt like they were, then I would say that, but I think Kincaid's going to be that good. But like if you're getting a Hurts, if you're getting a Tua, even Tua, I have Tua a little bit above Burrow right now, just because the offense is phenomenal. I think they bounce back hardcore. I would say Burrow's almost worth it though. I'd say maybe he is.
Yeah, I'll try that.
You could take a chance on it.
I've been losing by 5 points or less. Just waiting on Ridley to do well, or Ridley would do good one week, and then CeeDee Lamb doesn't have a good week. That's pretty much what's been going on.
Lamar
for Kamara.
Lamar. I doubt that the Lamar owner is going to trade him now, though.
Yeah. And then I also have another question, if you have time.
Yeah, real quick.
Do you think this trade was a beatable trade? It was Josh Downs and Spears for Calvin Ridley and Rachaad White, and my league mates, everyone vetoed it. It was vetoed by the league.
It was Downs and who?
Downs and Spears for Ridley and Rachaad White.
What side did they think crushed? The Ridley side or the other side?
Yeah, they think the Ridley and Rachaad White side crushed because Spears is not a starter yet.
Yeah.
And
hey, I like the Ridley side a lot more, but I don't think you should veto that. That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't think you should. Okay. All right, appreciate you, Smitty.
All right, later, man. All right, final caller, Chris, you got 30 because I got to go, bro. Chris, you got 30. I got to go, bro. Yeah, so first of all, I keep saying Smith's side. I hate that trade. Okay, what's the other one?
Ayuk, Pittman for my Flowers and Downs.
I'm leaning. I mean, it's pretty arguable. Flowers is really good, bro. I'll probably just lean the Ayuk side. With Debo out for a little while, I think Ayuk does pretty well. But you could go either way. I'm not going to make you take a lap on either side of that trade.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Are you high on Downs, even with Minshew back there?
Yeah, Minshew loves Downs. They got a report. Exactly. I mean, you think about it, when Minshew was a backup and Downs was rising up as a backup, they worked together and built a rapport. A lot of times the backup quarterback, especially a rookie, Minshew's not a rookie, but especially a rookie, though, the backup quarterback and the young wide receiver, they usually build that amazing rapport together and they rise up together. It just so happens Minshew's an old dog, but Minshew and Downs have a great rapport. So, but it doesn't mean that I feel that he won't be up and down because he's a rookie. I'd rather have Ayuk and Pittman. All right, later, bro. Appreciate you.
Later, bro. Yep.
Okay, last 4 super chats here. Snook says 10-team PPR trade away TJ Hawkinson and Brandon Ayuk and B-Rob for Breece Hall and Devon Achane. I'd take Breece Hall and Devon Achane in a millisecond. Easy trade, bro. Traded Rachaad White for JT last week.
Got him.
I don't care how many receptions Rachaad White got this week, and that's a great trade. Fantastic. Alex says I started banged up Mostert or Pierce. You're gonna go probably Mostert, bro, unless some bad news breaks really soon on it. Where would you rank Kincaid rest of season? 5 or 6. I think it's safe to put Laporta and Hawkinson and Andrews above them. I think safe, but I think Laporta and Kincaid really are like level. It's just you got to give Laporta the bump because he's been a little bit more in the forefront doing it, and he still gets a chance to outperform Kincaid this week. So everybody that started Laporta instead of Kincaid freaking out, Laporta could have a better game. But I think it's safe to put Laporta and Kincaid right next to each other at like that 5-6 territory with Laporta slightly ahead for now. And that could change next week. But that's how good Kincaid is. He's in that 5, 6, 7 area, very, 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 very nicely cemented in. Appreciate you all. I will see you all at the 8 p.m. show in like a little less than an hour and 15 minutes. Peace out. Thank you to all my super chatters. Thank you, Chad Bender, with the super. Thank you, Lego Batman, with the $20 holler. Lego and Chad Bender to the freaking moon. See you all in about an hour and 15 for a breaking news show. All the breaking news for today. Tyreek Hill probably lead the way. Kenneth Walker also lead the way. Talk about him again and more. See you all in an hour and 15. Don't forget to get on over to Underdog Fantasy. They'll double your first deposit up to $500 for a limited time. Use the link I'm going to drop in the description or in the live chat. And please use the link in the description or code Smitty. But we might draft again tonight. We did several drafts last night. So make sure you hit that link that I just dropped. And hit the link in the description if you're watching the replay. Chad Bender and Lego Batman to the moon. Appreciate all of you. Later. See you in a bit. Tomas says Germany loves the show. I love the show loves Germany. See you all later.